Hey everybody, it's Miss Gary and my assistant Christian. We're back with you for another science experiment.
Hello.
So today we're going to be showing you how to make crystal. Like this is the crystal that we created with the pipe cleaner. And Christian's going to tell you what you will need.
So this is an example, because like at the bottom when we first got it out of this jar, it came out like as like a floor, like the floor of the jar. See, so
like
the top part is rough, and the underneath is soft. Well, it's not exactly soft, but flat.
Smooth.
So if you want to make crystals, you'll probably want to use like a jar to put so when you put the crystals in, you're going to want to put a jar and
water. You're going to need water,
hot water, borax
powder,
a pipe cleaner, and you will also need some string. It doesn't matter what color, we just use yellow.
Yeah, so it can be string or yarn, and you'll tie that to the pencil so you can suspend your pipe cleaner in the water.
So you'll probably
need a tablespoon to stir in the borax. So I'm going to do the hot water, and I would recommend if you do this to have an adult help you with the hot water. And if you use glass, what you want to do is you want to run it kind of under hot water first to let it get kind of warmed up. Because sometimes if you pour hot water into glass, it can crack or it can bust. So we don't want anybody to get hurt. So you want to make sure to run it under some hot water to give it a chance to get warmed up. So I use my electric tea kettle, and I actually let this cool a little bit just for safety. So what I'm doing is I'm pouring a little bit in at a time, so that way it's less likely to crack or bust.
Or spill.
Or spill, for that matter. So I've got it about halfway full. So for your next step, we're going to use the borax. So you take your tablespoon, and I put in about like kind of like a spoonful, basically. Yeah.
Kind of like a whole spoon, but not overflowing. Just exactly like here. Show them an example.
Yeah, like this, like maybe about that much on your spoon. So I used maybe about 3 tablespoons. A little bit got it to the top. That's okay. Yeah, and Christian will show you how to stir.
Do not stir too hard, because it could spill.
Yes. So be careful when you stir.
Do not hold the glass. It will burn.
Put it all the way down at the bottom and then stir.
You don't want to go slow, but you don't want to go fast.
It's a good medium.
Basic speed, like this.
Yeah. Okay.
About good?
That's about right.
Okay.
Now, there'll still be a little bit of borax on the bottom. And fun fact, that's where we found some of our crystals formed at the bottom of the glass. So that was an extra surprise.
That was why it was in this form, like a circle. Like, as I said earlier, it was at the bottom of the glass.
So we've got our borax kind of stirred. I might give it another good shake. Okay. And then you're going to take your pipe cleaner, and you can make it into any shape that you'd like. So what Miss Carrie's going to do is just maybe make it into a spiral shape. So I've got a little spiral.
Like, stick your finger in it and then just start
twirling it.
Yeah.
So we want to leave a good spot so we can attach our yarn. Find the end of our yarn. There it is. There's the end of our yarn. So I'm going to take our scissors, because we also needed our scissors. I'm going to cut the string kind of short.
Use your parents for that, though, because if you cut your finger, it'll hurt and you'll start bleeding a little bit. So
good advice. Or if you're Christian's age, about 10, you could probably cut it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But for little kids, it's always good to have an adult help. Okay, so we've got our string. I wonder if it's going to be too short. No, I don't think so.
Looks about right.
So I'm going to take it and I'm going to tie it to the pencil first. So we can suspend that from the top of the jar. Our doggies are in here if you hear somebody walking around. So we've got that. And the idea is to put your pencil right there. And then we're going to attach it to the pipe cleaner. Uh-oh, lost the end. There we go. Okay, so we got it tied to the pencil, and we got it tied to our pipe cleaner. And then what you do is you dip it in there, and it will turn into a crystal. And what we did was we waited overnight. So we waited for, there we go.
Keep it balanced though, because it could fall off.
Yeah.
So, and it might pull out a little bit of the string.
So my advice is to wait maybe about 12 hours, and then when you wake up in the morning, you'll find some cool crystals formed. And if you wanted to add extra fun, you could always use food coloring to color your water. We just used plain so we could see the crystals.
But we still do have food coloring.
We do. We just didn't use it this time. So, and then when you wake up, you'll find these beautiful crystals. And the cool science behind this, guys, is that what you do is you create what is called a supersaturated solution. So that's what the water and the borax is. And then while it's cooling down from the hot water, that borax particles will want to attach to something. So that's why they attach to the pipe cleaner. So that's your science behind it. So we hope you enjoyed this. Kristen and I sure enjoyed making these. And it'd be cool to make some of these for holidays too. So we'll see you again next week with another fun experiment. So we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.